Okay, guys, welcome back to our Friday edition of Toy Talk. We got myself and R2 here. Say hello, R2. Okay, cool. All right, and we're bringing in our friend Michael Burnett, and who makes models. He'll talk a little bit more about that. And then we got our regular toy guy. We can't seem to get a bunch of vendors on here. I don't know why, but
you guys are stuck with me, man.
All right, and then we've got Ed in North Carolina whenever he comes back. So we'll check in with him here shortly.
Fabulous.
Okay. All right. Ed, are you there? Are you almost at a spot where you can do a video? Oh, okay. We'll check back in with him. We can't hear you. Okay, so we're gonna check back in with Ed here in just a minute. Ed is a vendor ours who travels from North Carolina. I'm gonna do a little intro. The green light there, are you Loch Ness monster? Ed is he used to be a Florida resident, and then he moved to North Carolina like at some point, and so he goes to a lot of shows though, typically. Now, all of you probably know about the gas shortage in the North Carolina area, and so he's going to end up canceling for this weekend. He has a full car of stuff and everything that was coming down. He usually brings Hot Wheels and some other little, bunch of different things that he can fit in his vehicle. And so he usually brings that stuff. And but he's going to give us a report from North Carolina because now he's not coming because basically he can't get gas. I mean, once he gets home, there's no gas. So Ed, are you on with us yet?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Are you still driving, or you're at home, or are you stopping, or what?
We can pull over and stop. We can do that. I can talk though. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go ahead and we'll leave you on the screen here. Okay.
Okay.
So what I was talking about was that you got a full carload there. It appears.
Yes, we do.
Behind you, and you're not coming now because there's no gas.
That's correct.
Oh man! So you got enough to get around town, but so the problem is, the problem is that, but everybody else is coming. So not Ed, but Michael will be there. We're going to talk to him. He does really cool models. If you were at our Tampa show and our show at the Retro SuperCon, he brought the dog, the giant dog from what is that from, Mike?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters dog. Oh yeah. And then I'm trying to remember what else you brought to that particular show.
The Boba Fett, and we had Boba Fett, a Stormtrooper, Anakin Skywalker. I think that was it.
Yeah, that was at the Tampa show. This last time, and you are bringing stuff to this show coming up this weekend. And so
we'll have Han Solo and Carbonite. We'll have a couple new ones.
Yeah, I've been bugging you to bring that. So we're gonna have a couple new things that haven't been to the other shows. So if you guys want to come up and check out the show, and we're gonna have a backdrop for you to take photos with the characters. R2 is staying home this time just because I'm gonna work on his wheels here. He had some wheel issues at the last time we were at the Tampa show, and so I need to work on that. But gas
shortage for R2, man. Exactly.
All right. So are you still looking for gas stations up there? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm just driving by gas stations. There's no gas in them.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so we don't want to really have a bunch of negative stuff, but unfortunately, Ed is not going to be coming to the show this weekend. We are going to have the other guys, and just want to do a quick update of a live thing from the North Carolina gas situation. So Ed, you were talking about earlier that there is some gas, but they're only letting essential workers buy it. Is that what? I mean, I don't really understand this essential worker concept.
They're letting the first responders and nurses and so forth get the gas first, and then they close down the stations to the regular people and say they're out of gas until they get more in.
Okay. All right.
And then some stations will have gas, but they won't. They'll get like 1/3 of their allocation, and then there'll be lines of gas to get lines of cars for people to get gas. Then they limit it to like $20. Some places are not letting you fill up the 5-gallon red containers or the other kind of containers that people use because it's considered hoarding. So you can only get your allocation of $20 per gas at your station. You have to go to another one if you want to fill up even more. So it's been really bad. But it's been challenging to try to find gasoline. I mean, I've just left a place up in Arden, and I've gone by maybe 8 gas stations. There's no gas in any of them. No place. And this is a Friday night. Usually up here in Hendersonville and Asheville, this place is really busy with people going out to the bars and going to the pool hall and just going out and having fun. There's nobody on the road because there's no gas. The Chick-fil-A line, there's hardly anybody in line there tonight to get something to eat. It's usually round the curve.
Wow.
So
we are sorry to hear.
Latest news.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay.
We'll move to Ed.
Down in Georgia, where my buddy lives, they have gas down there, but once you get past Spartanburg, South Carolina, all the way up the mountain here to Asheville, there's nothing at all. When they do it, when you do find gas, you have to get there immediately. If not, you're not going to get anything. Nothing. I've had the same tank in my car of gas since Monday. I haven't gone any place.
Wow. Well, okay. Well, sorry.
You're fine. You guys are going to have a great show. I have some pictures I can send to you if people want to buy some things. I can mail it to them if they see some things they like.
Right. So what you posted. So I'll post some of your stuff on the page again. Those that have been on the event, and I posted some Hot Wheels. A lot of our Hot Wheels guys don't send me photos, but Ed is one of the people that do send me photos. We will have other Hot Wheels guys at the show.
Right.
Making a noise here. Go ahead and shut off. Okay. There's always something, right?
There's always something going on.
But anyway, so
usually this time of year on I-26 is usually filled with tourists coming up for the weekend to the mountains. There's nobody on the road.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, all right, we're gonna leave it at that. And enjoy your rest of your weekend, I guess. Sorry that you're not coming, but we're gonna
let them know that my spirit's there, and you're all gonna have a great time, make some good cash. We'll save some of the cash for me for the next show. I'll be down in Florida. For the next show down there. I think it's in the Orlando show I signed up for, or one of them.
Toylando, June 6th. That's another show. So all right, Ed, we will let you go for now. Enjoy your ride, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Take care, Ed.
Sounds great. Thank you. Have fun, guys. Have a great time.
Yep.
Be good. Bye.
All right. Okay, we're gonna get back to actual toys here. Anyway, we know there's gas that needs to be, Okay. Somebody is asking about, I don't know my how long my hair is here, but so I haven't gotten a haircut since COVID started. That's basically February of last year was and I've never had hair this long. So this is very unusual for me. So it's pretty long, but it is what it is. I kind of like it now. Okay, so we're gonna move past that. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit to Mike a little more. And so you started coming you started coming to our shows, starting with Super RetroCon, and you brought some really cool stuff to the event. And what I want to do is I'm gonna share a photo. I'm gonna look that up while I'll let you talk about maybe what you're planning on bringing again. Maybe just repeat that. Planning on bringing again this weekend. And then maybe talk a little bit about your background, Mike. How you got into really what you did. I mean, earlier you and Mark were talking about Universal. That you originally did some stuff at Universal and this and that.
Yeah, my background is my movies and TV, theme park stuff. I had a business in California for many years doing movies and TV stuff, but I've always loved theme park stuff. So I've worked for Universal started back in the 80s in Hollywood, and then I worked for Universal in Orlando. I helped them promote the Orlando park before it was opened and up until it opened. And then I did stuff for them as a vendor from California until they got people established here. It was kind of like, if you build it, they will come kind of thing. Before it was built, everything came out of California. And once the park was here, there was a lot more, a lot of people came and they didn't, they had people who did that kind of work. But then I moved to Florida. They called me. I ran the makeup department there in the art and design of entertainment for almost, I think, about 16 years. And but I still work. I did a lot of work on movies and TV and props, and I got into it because I love science fiction and horror specifically, and so I have a lot. As you can see, my collection back here, of course, it's in mirror. I've got all my stuff. This is actually something I got at the last show. One of the shows that my $6 Million Man.
Oh, that's cool.
Bank. Yeah, I got that. They had a booth right behind me. So I kept eyeing it.
That must be Jerry.
Yeah, I got to get that guy, because $6 Million Man and Mission Impossible and all those shows that kind of had the sci-fi Planet of the Apes and all those kind of things. So that's what most of my toys are. And of course, Star Wars, huge Star Wars fan.
Gotta have
Star
that.
Trek. Yeah. And so, I do a lot of props. I don't have, I make them for other people. I ended up doing that, but I'm trying to get my collection back up, and that's what you and I've been doing. I've been bringing my stuff. So I'm currently working on concurrently. I've got a life-size Darth Vader. I actually did a series of life-size Darth Vaders. Anybody who remembers when they re-released the movies back in the late 90s, they did special editions. They did a whole thing like with I think it was Taco Bell did a whole promotion, and you get toys and stuff. And then they were giving away a life-size Darth Vader. And so my company, we made 500 life-size Darth Vaders.
Oh man.
That was a lot of Darth Vaders, let me tell you. So, but
you got to know Darth Vader pretty well then.
Oh yeah, very well. But after making all those, I don't have one. I don't personally have one. I
was going to ask that. And what happens with like number one? Do they do something special with like the first one?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who got it. I think somebody with one of the companies that was doing distribution. I think they wanted it. Somebody got it. And we made a special one for George Lucas. He got one with a special plaque. It was an artist proof, and certain people wanted certain numbers, so
yeah,
but
right.
And one of them went to it was given away through a promotion at Taco Bell. So it was really cool. It was that was really popular, and so we did. I did a bunch of life-size figures like that, and so I'm working on that. I'd like hopefully over the next several shows we'll have it and bring them. But like Batman, George Clooney from Batman, a DC Superman. It's more of a comic book style, but life size. He's like 6.5 feet tall. Locutus, a Borg from Star Trek, and the Queen Borg from Star Trek. a Predator from the original Predator, the first movie.
Oh, that's great.
So all these are, I'm working on them. And then one's a little more obscure, a couple that are a little obscure. If anybody remembers Silent Running, it was a pretty cool science fiction movie with Bruce Dern from the 70s. And they had these cool little robots that were, I'm working on a couple of, there were 3 different robots. I'm currently making one of those, but, and B9, anybody who knows B9 from, Lost in Space. So, remember he's Danger Will Robinson, Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I thought it was Robbie the Robot.
No, Robbie the Robot was designed by the same guy. Excuse me.
Okay.
Planet.
Yeah, but that was from Forbidden Planet. Exactly.
Forbidden Planet.
Exactly.
Yep.
But Robbie was on an episode or 2 of Lost in Space. But B9, they're cousins, not the same.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know what his. So his name is B9 then.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody out there that is going, Jeff, you don't know shit on this, but that's okay. That's okay. I can learn.
Okay.
I'm okay with learning.
Yeah.
Okay. So your plan right now is to bring the Carbonite and like a Boba Fett maybe again.
Yeah. We'll have for this coming weekend. I was gonna have a Yoda, life-size Yoda, which is, of course, he's not super big. Boba Fett.
He's
Yoda.
You can put.
We'll have him up
passenger
on a
seat.
little stand. Yeah, because life size for him is not real tall. Then I have a Dobby. I think we'll bring Dobby from Harry Potter. So we'll have something a little different. And probably the Stormtrooper again. And I think that's all of them for that show. But we're working on some other ones. So starting with the next show, we'll bring a couple of different ones. Of course, Star Wars show we'll bring all, depending on how that all works out, we can bring. Oh yeah, there you go.
Outstanding.
So.
Yeah, so these are the figures that we had at the Tampa show this last month. So these are pretty cool. I have somewhere I have another picture of where a guy the 501st is standing in front of them and everything like that. So this is the R2 that I have behind me over here, and then these are all these figures that you made here. I thought the Anakin one was, you see. When I say this, what it is you see stormtroopers somewhat rarely, I guess. Like you can go to like Disney and see one, or whatever, but you don't see the Anakin and the Boba Fett really. Would you say that, Mark?
Well, yeah. I think Boba Fett's probably the most popular character, and that Anakin's really detailed. The Stormtrooper is great too, but that Anakin's pretty detailed. Right.
So. I thought, the Boba Fett and the Anakin just kind of was like, that was just really cool to have. And we did have the Ghostbusters dog on the other side of what you're seeing there. So, so people can come up and get their picture taken with the characters, and they can talk to you about, other, you'll have some pieces to for sale, some other smaller stuff.
Yeah,
if someone wanted something bigger.
I do a lot of this is the Indiana Jones idol. I'll have some of these.
Right.
This is life size, cast off of. We spent months. A couple other friends of mine that are big Indiana Jones fans. We spent months sorting through it. Maybe I'll bring just a show, but there's all kinds of stories about how this, where how it was made and everything. And so I learned quite a lot about it. And so this is pretty much as close as you can get. And there's still even some, a little bit of disagreement even between the people who like, did he have little pupils? Did he not have pupils? But there were multiple idols. In fact, there's one that actually had moving eyes. They didn't really use that shot, but there was one in the script. It says that as Indy's approaching it, he feels like it's watching him, and so they actually made an idol. And I have one. I have one that I put glass eyes in just to match to one. And the eyes moved, but they never used a shot of it because it kind of looked funky. But this is, about as close as you can get to the one in the movie. And then I also, this is an even older movie, Humphrey Bogart. This is the Maltese Falcon. So again, life-size replica. I'll have this at the show on Sunday. And then anybody who's a Creature from the Black Lagoon fan, this is a not painted one, but this is like the fossilized hand that they found. It's kind of what started the whole search for the creature in the beginning of the movie. They find this in a dig, and so then they start looking for the creature, and that's where later in the movie they encounter the actual living creature. So that's some of the stuff I'll have.
That's really cool.
Thanks.
All right, I'm gonna share this to the actual event page because I didn't get to do that. So sorry, give me a moment here. Okay, Mark. Looks like you're surrounded with boxes. What are you teasing me with the boxes?
It's just for to have some kind of background. Those are just there. You have all that stuff, don't you?
I do not have a Rattler box.
I don't either.
What do you mean? I saw a Rattler box behind you. What are you sneaking over here? What? That is not a Rattler?
Oh, yeah, it is.
And then the boat. I see the Moray.
The Moray, yeah.
Is that an empty box?
This one is empty. It's just for display.
It's just for display at my house?
Yep. Absolutely. But I had some other stuff I was possibly going to bring. What are you bringing, Jeff? Let's see something you got.
That's a good question. I'm thinking about when you were here this last weekend or whatever for the party thing.
That was a good time, by the way. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a bigger deal later in the year. August actually, August. But I think I might bring some mask stuff, some of that mask stuff to sell.
That's cool.
I'm gonna have some stuff. I'm putting it at your thing, at your table, and then I might. I gotta see what I'm bringing vehicle wise, but I just picked this up.
Awesome.
Well, this is more of a representation of what the bigger piece is. So some of you guys, you got your yak face, right? You want to pull that out? So you just got that back. It's kind of.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the light right. How's that?
Well, so Mike, do you know what the yak face character?
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Okay, but do you know why it's like I'm an early Star Wars guy versus a later Star Wars guy, but
bad glare.
So okay, so Mark, tell us, because I don't want to sound really stupid.
Well, it wasn't released in the U.S. from what I understand. I know there's going to be a million people chiming in here correcting me. You know that's going to happen. Nobody's watching, but everyone's going to be saying how dumb I am in a minute.
Right.
I think it was only like in Canada maybe and overseas. I don't know. But it was one of the last 17 figures, and it's pretty tough to get. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's graded in 85.
So like a carded version, which looks like this. Okay, this is not an original carded version. This is a graded version. I got this from another vendor. But this came in the Jabba sail barge that Hasbro did a year or two ago. What year is that? 2019. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I have the Jabba sail barge that goes with this. That it's too big to put on camera. But an original carded one, Mark, what does that go for? 10
to 20,000 easily.
Wow.
Like graded, like a good example would be
like the coin. I think you were talking about is probably a couple $1,000s.
Yeah, like the loose figure is one thing, but if you have it with the coin's a couple thousand on its own. Because it also came like on a tri-logo card. I think it wasn't just on the Power of the Force card. I think it was on a tri-logo card, which didn't have the coins.
So what they did with the HasLab, just Mike, if you just is they did like a Kickstarter thing for this Jabba sail barge, which is they never made back in the day, and so people ordered it, and then they included this carded figure in the box in some way, and the person that I got this from sent the box, sealed box, to the grading company and AFA, and they took the figure out. I don't know, because it's separate from the actual barge box, and they graded that, and then I've got the shipper case to this barge thing, so which is like, I think it's probably worth 5 times. Weren't they like $500?
I think so, something like that, like 500 or 600. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the one that you just showing, that's not a $20,000 one. That's
It's modern. The one that's expensive is like.
It's a recreation of the original.
Yeah.
What did the original come out in the 70s?
85.
85. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the last 17. They call like the first.
Oh.
The first 12 figures they did in 78. That's the first 12, and then okay. So now I'm gonna sound like an idiot, a newbie, but that's okay in my opinion. Is on the back of the original Kenner stuff, they had like pictures, right? Of the figures, and so based on how many figures they had on the back, that's what they call the 12 back, and then the 41 back. Like I have I'm gonna go get that R2 just to show an example there. Hold on.
I'm gonna bring this too.
Ah, cool.
Superpowers, Green Arrow, pretty tough figure. It's from.
How's the bubble on that?
The bubble?
Yeah.
Perfect. The card's not great, but the bubble's really nice.
Okay. What are you gonna be asking for that at the show? Just to let everybody know.
It was $250, but now probably $300 now, like $250, something like in that range.
Okay. Okay. So this is a they say a 41 back. This is an R2 in the package. That's graded from the 80s. It's a Kenner. So what they do is you see all the figures on the back there, Mike.
Yep.
So based on how many figures are on the back, that's where they get this 41 back. So there's 41 figures on the back. So the first one, because I'm like, what the hell? When I first started collecting these again, I'm like, well, what the hell does that mean? The 12 back. I thought, okay, it's the first 12 figures. But no, it's the actual what's on the back of the card is how you figure out what year this R2, because this R2 is the same model as the one in 78, right? So how would you know how old this is, and how old and how you know that is by how many figures there are on the back, I guess. Is that right there, Mark?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. So what else? So the only thing new that I got in the last couple of weeks is the Java sail barge, because I had a graduation party for here. So I did have that where I was gonna bring it. I gotta see if I'm gonna bring it or not. I mean, it's not. I'm willing to sell it, but it's. So you're gonna have that. When did you pick that up?
I've had this for a little bit. Yeah, I got this from Jason Vicentes at some point in time.
Okay. You're digging deep. These guys have sold so much, Mike, that they're digging in their own collection now to sell. This is the Worms figure.
Yeah.
So that's that. I forgot what year that came out. That's G.I. Joe.
Yeah, 86.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that 86.
Jeff, you need this too. 85 or 86. You're putting me on the spot.
I thought that was after that.
No, let me see.
Because I had one of those.
87.
That has the antenna, I assume?
Yeah, it's graded.
So it's graded. Okay. You just got that back too, right?
Actually, I got this from I think this was Joey Rulo's at some point in time. I believe.
Okay. Joey Rulo. Okay. Let me go over a couple things. Let's see. Tony is on here, and he's talking to me about stuff for the next show.
What's up, Tony?
And I do not have a Tony. I do not have a Takara Rattler. I did not. I got a Takara. I got a Takara Dragonfly. Just so you're aware. He also said you've seen a tri-logo yak face recently for sale. Oh wow. Okay. And just so you guys know, he's asking about the show in July. We do have a show back in Tampa that I announced. One of the things that we're doing is, it may seem like I'm doing too many shows. I don't know. I think we're going to end up slowing down next year. But right now, I really think that we had a pop show 2 weeks ago, and it was like jammed. I mean, you couldn't even move in there. And then the Star Wars show was. I mean, all these shows have been really good. But I think that because we don't have a Toys R Us or KB Toys, and we don't have, you got all the shelves when you go to Walmart or Target, they're empty. And these vendors that we have, and so do you guys want to say anything?
No, I was just gonna say, I think people want to get out too. I mean, everybody's been locked up for a year, so.
Yep.
Getting out and seeing the stuff and talking toys with people. It's, you want to, everybody wants to do it. So. Right.
Yeah. And it's just been really good. This Jacksonville show, this is our first show in that area. We're kind of trying to expand our brand, branch out. We're trying to bring something different. We're going to have vendors, just so everybody knows, we're going to have vendors from South Florida, Ocala. We're going to have vendors from, let's see, they're all over the state, basically. A lot of Orlando people. There's going to be a few Jacksonville people there that maybe, people have seen at another Jacksonville show. But for the most part, we're coming up there. We're bringing vendors that we have at our shows here in Central Florida, where I live. And we're bringing them up to Jacksonville to have some kind of a different show up there. One thing I do want to mention about the show, maybe, some people, I say there's always like a small group or one or two people that will, in this whole COVID situation or whatever. I gotta mention this, unfortunately, because I'm really tired of even discussing COVID. I think a lot of us are, but the hotel has given us the option of making masks optional, okay, for the show space, and so I'm gonna go ahead with that. And I announced that on Tuesday or Wednesday when the hotel said I could do that. They said that they have masks still required, and this was when I checked with them on Tuesday. So the CDC has come out with their new guidelines or whatever, and I would say most of the vendors I believe are vaccinated or whatever. I'm not getting into anybody's business of what they want to do, but I just want to tell people that at this show it's an optional thing. So if you I'm not forcing the vendors to wear masks, and I'm not, we're going to probably, the public areas of the hotel are still, I think, requiring masks, but the show is probably not going to have, we're not going to have a rule there. So it's up to you. It's up to people and their choices, which is what I believe. People have come by and said, well, people are selfish for not thinking about others or whatever. And everybody, I just think that everybody has a whiffum mindset in a general sense. So everybody wants to throw everybody else under the bus. But I just want to put across that don't be surprised if you show up and like people don't have masks, because some of I'm not going to dwell on this. I'm going to move on here in just a second, but I just want to put that across. I feel, as somebody that's running the show, wearing the mask for all of the time that we're doing the show, it to me, it does more harm than good in my book. I got a dry mouth for the next 3 days. At first I thought I had COVID when I didn't, because, I just felt, my whole breathing thing was all kind of screwy. So, for a couple of days after the show. And so I assume that other vendors have the similar issues. So we're gonna run with optional masks this weekend. So if you feel comfortable, you should be coming to the show because you feel comfortable being around people anyway. But I just want to be upfront with that and tell people that, and have everybody come out and enjoy being up around the toys and around the great, sculptures and creative things that Mike's doing. And then Mark, who's going to have, you guys have 5 tables, and you sent me 2 pictures. Mark,
well, look,
Jason, you have 5 tables.
Everybody, look, it's like this. Sometimes things have to be a surprise. We have 5 tables. We're going to have 5 tables of goodness. That's what you need to know.
Okay.
I'm just going to have the yak face in the middle of one table. I have all your toys on another table.
Right.
Goodies there, man. We got some Dino Hunters, some G.I. Joe Dino Hunters graded.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We're going to have some stuff. We're going
We always have stuff. We want you to have stuff, man.
This is original Series 4 Garbage Pail Kids. The entire set. We're gonna have a lot of cards. I know we got some Jurassic Park wax boxes from the original movie, unopened still.
What are those gonna go for?
These are anywhere from probably like $60 to $80. I'll have to look them up to see. They're probably going for over $100 on eBay, but 60 to 80, something like that. I know Jason just picked up a bunch of old Marvel boxes from the 90s. So there'll be some good cards there, some good trading cards.
Cool. I will have to stop by.
Well, you're going to be right across from him, by the way.
Oh, good.
So
that'll be easy.
Yeah,
you'll get an easy scoop there.
Okay.
And let me go ahead and share one other thing to talk about location let's see. I'm going to share the location that I have a map here. Give me a second here. Chrome tab. Let's see if it Jax Romana. Okay, I don't know if this is no, it's not showing what I want. So let's go ahead and go back. Romana.
Good text you sent out today, Jeff, though. The vendor texts were very informative on the maps and the locations, man. Good job. Much appreciated.
Yeah, I was gonna text you back. The images wouldn't open for me for some reason.
Oh, okay.
That multi-text one, Mark, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that one open for
Yeah, the images they wouldn't.
Okay, well, I'll send them to you.
All right, thanks.
So for those that are wondering what they're talking about, basically, I send out a group text message to all the vendors to tell them about load-in stuff. And so I'll send those messages, and that the one was basically, Mike, the one was a map basically showing, and let me go ahead and go and zoom in here, and I'll show you. So this is kind of where this is. Obviously, this is, I'm going to kind of zoom out here. It's at the south end of Jacksonville. For those of you that might be coming from the south, besides the vendors coming from the south,
that's go ahead. Crossing St. John's is a pain, so that's good as far as just being on that side of the city.
Well, this is really easy to get to.
Yeah.
It's right off the highway here. So the image that I sent out, Mike, is basically this. So there's a vendor entrance here, and and which is probably the one. This is the main entrance, and then there's a vendor entrance here, and then there's a vendor entrance here. So you'll probably want to come in. I'm guessing this because you're actually the actual show is roughly in like I want to say this rectangle here. So I think there's a hallway here in the middle, and you're in this area here.
Okay.
So, just to give you an idea of that. So, I picked this to start out with in Jacksonville because there's other shows there. Originally, actually, why I picked it was because the North Florida Collectors Club meets, I think, either once or twice a year up there. And so I just said, hey, if they're meeting there, it's good enough for them. It's good enough for me. And that's kind of what I did. Now, we'll see how this works out. I think we're going to have a really pretty good crowd. And if it does what I think, we may move this. We want to come back and do a bigger event, next year or something like that, bigger than at this location. I have to scout out some new locations up there, but because there's other. I think the Retrorama is there and stuff too. But we're kind of trying to bring our own flavor, bring stuff that you're not going to necessarily see everywhere. Okay, and let's see. The other thing I wanted to share, which I'll go ahead and we'll quit that. Let's see, sharing. Go ahead and stop that, and then I'll go ahead and let me share one other thing here. We'll talk a little bit about the schedule, and then we can kind of move on. Okay, and then so finally, I just want to talk a little bit about the schedule that we have. So in about 3 weeks from now, which we're going to be, once we're done with this show, pretty much the way we work, I focus on one show at a time, and then we're gonna be on Toylando here, and this will be our second Orlando kind of show at the Avanti. I know this sounds really crazy. It definitely sounds crazy to me because Avanti is about 10,000 square feet, and then you have we rented this time an extra room on the side, which is another 3,000 square feet, and that's everything is basically sold out. So I think I might have one table in there, and so we might have to just find a bigger space in Orlando to do stuff. But anyway, so that's the next show after this. We're going to do two smaller events at Acme. And then after that, we'll see where we go with that with Acme. But and then our newest event is we are going to come back to Tampa in July and do a Tampa Toycon, and we'll have a Tampa and Lakeland, Lakeland is going to be our birthday show. It's going to be our 2-year anniversary. I think that it's actually technically our third show. So we did the first one in 2019, and then we did another one last year, and then this will be our third in a row in Lakeland. And we're moving that to the RP Funding Center, and then we'll go back to Avanti. We're skipping September right now. We may announce something for September, but we're skipping September right now. Typically, the weather is wacky with the hurricanes and all that, especially at the beginning of September. So that, and you got a gazillion shows going on in August, but we're sticking with our August thing, and then we'll be back at the State Fairgrounds now in November. Now, we are thinking about looking into like the Melbourne or Cocoa again at the end of the year, and maybe a South Florida show. We're also looking at like the Panhandle area. I haven't really even went up there, but it is something that where we're looking to explore. So, so again, we're looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend. There's going to be 80 tables of vendors. Let me go ahead and get back to us. There's going to be about 80 tables. We have 2 rooms at that hotel, which is about 8,000 square feet or so. And so it is a smaller show for us now. It wasn't, 2 years ago, but Bradenton, Tony, we are looking at, we're going to visit the Suncoast Comic Con coming up in Bradenton. We looked into renting that down there, and we haven't gotten that far to actually renting it out. So we are looking at other areas. I know it doesn't seem like I'm going slow, but I am actually. I'm trying not to go too fast. And because we want to bring Super RetroCon to other states and stuff like that. So we're putting the foot on the gas, guys. So I'm hoping that everybody is enjoying the shows, and I really like having Mike at the shows with the stuff that he's doing. Hopefully, I can maybe afford to buy some of this stuff eventually when he's too busy to show up. And then Mark is a regular, and I appreciate. Do you guys have any, Mark? Do you have anything to add that you want to just talk about as far as that you're bringing, or that you're looking for?
No, I'm just looking forward to the Jacksonville show to see if there's anything different. I'd like to get a Night Boomer at some point in time.
What is that?
It's the Sky Striker, but it's the Night Force version. It's all black with red missiles.
Didn't Lewis have one? Half one?
He has the shell for it. Yeah, I want to get a whole complete one.
Okay.
So
that's like the silver one, right?
Yeah, I'd like to get a Kraken also from Clash of the Titans.
Okay, Kraken. Red has one for that, right? Big Red's rustic or Big Red. Chuck Red has one over in Tampa. Anyway, and then Mike, is there anything that you're looking for? Anything to add that you might, you're going to be bringing the idols, you're going to and stuff, and then and you'll have a table of stuff. I've got some collectible toys and stuff too that I'll have on top of these things. But no, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm glad we connected, because I've got. Kind of gives me an incentive to get these other figures done, because I love to share them with people. And like I said, I'm starting to work on more so that we can start mixing it up and have different ones at each show. Awesome, great.
We're gonna trade, Mike, at the show. Yeah. We're gonna have to work stuff out.
All right. Sean Mayo,
who
will be at the show this weekend, says it is Redhead Vintage Toys, and it is. I apologize to Red there, because I buy stuff from him at his store all the time, and for some reason I couldn't remember the exact name, and he is at 56th Street in Tampa. And I actually tell people, if they can't come to the show for some reason, visit the visit Chuck's store, because there was somebody that's coming into town in between our shows or something, and I said, well, if you don't make it to our show, then go to Red's over in Tampa, because I know he has vintage stuff, if you're looking for that.
Yeah.
All right. And then at the end here, Ed, any last words? Oh, no.
Now his phone's out of gas. Oh, there he
is. Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. Well, we'll have a preview on Sunday morning before we open. I'll try to do a walkthrough.
Sounds great.
Setting up, and
I think Tony Lynn, did you ask Tony? I am going to do the Tampa show. I think you asked me that earlier.
Yeah, he says he has a Night Boomer.
Yeah, but you won't sell it to me, I'm sure.
Okay, is it okay? So is it a black one or a silver one? What's the difference?
It's black. You're thinking of the Sky Shark or the Sky something. I don't even know the friggin' names, but I know what you're talking about. Red had that at the Tampa show a couple years ago. Graded.
Well, he had it graded too, if I remember correctly. But the Night, there's a black Sky Striker.
Yeah, the Night Boomer.
Sky Raven.
That's the silver one.
Silver one.
So Tony, why aren't you on the show talking G.I. Joe knowledge? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, well, we'll bring him on. We'll bring him on next week. There was also see. This is what happens. We can never get anybody on, and they start coming on. I don't know. They won't come on the damn show, but they'll come. All right. There was also a Chrome one that was from JoeCon. Oh, okay. All right. We'll have you on another day. Okay.
Everybody's too big for us, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, hey, thanks a lot, Mike, for coming, and
Sure.
we'll see you on Sunday, and we'll see you on Sunday also, Mark.
Yeah, looking forward to it, guys.
I think it's going to be a good show. I mean, we've got,
it'll be fun.
It's it's going to be our first one up there, and I'm hoping everybody has a good time. So thanks for coming, and we'll go ahead and end the video now, and enjoy, and we'll see you hopefully this weekend in Jacksonville.
All right. See you Sunday.
Take care.
See you Sunday.
See you guys.
Bye.